CCP and Community Economic Development, Tla'amin First Nation. Background. In June 2010, after 19 years of negotiations through the BC Treaty process, the Tla'amin Nation, the Province of British Columbia, and the Government of Canada reached agreement on the essential elements of the Tla'amin Final Agreement. This final agreement was signed off by all three entities in the spring of 2014 and came into effect at midnight on April 5, 2016. Go to the link here for a timeline of their journey. For more background on Tla'amin, their history, context, and treaty process, watch this video documentary from 2014. The final agreement included a transfer of 8,323 hectares of Tla'amin lands and a capital transfer of $33.9 million over 10 years. Tla'amin Nation also received an economic development fund of $7.9 million and a fishing vessel fund of $285,585. A resource revenue sharing agreement provides for $738,889 per year for 50 years to Tla'amin Nation. Tla'amin Nation will contribute to the funding of agreed upon programs and services from its own sources of revenue as its own source revenue increases, according to the own source revenue agreement. Tla'amin, formerly known as Tla'amin, created its first CCP in 2007. A land use plan followed in March 2010. After the treaty was signed in 2014, a CCP update, dated May 2015, was created to incorporate changes to lands and resources that resulted from the treaty process. A strategic plan was created in 2017 to focus on specific targeted actions for the nation. Tla'amin First Nation is well known in the area for its progressive action on partnerships, particularly with the municipality of Powell River, having formed protocol and service agreements with the City of Powell River and Norske Canada / Catalyst Paper, territory agreements with Chickasaw Nation, Comox First Nation, Clahus First Nation, Humalco First Nation, Temex Treaty Association, and the Lake Quiltock Treaty Society, as well as a sustainability charter with a number of local organizations. Economic Development Overview. In 2003, Tla'amin signed a community accord with the City of Powell River, and in June 2004, the Culture, Heritage, and Economic Development Agreement was signed with the City, instituting a joint economic development working committee that would meet regularly to discuss issues of interest to both parties. In 2018, the community accord was refreshed on the occasion of its 15th anniversary. Tla'amin also formed a development corporation in partnership with the City of Powell River and Norske / Catalyst Paper in 2004, forming the PRSC Limited Partnership, which was dissolved in 2018 by joint agreement to allow shareholders to take direct ownership of the remaining property. A direct result of these agreements was retention of Norske Catalyst lands that would likely have been sold to outside parties otherwise, Powell River Mayor and Council consenting to properties owned by Tla'amin inside the municipality being designated as treaty settlement lands, the first time in BC history that a municipality has agreed to such a measure, further negotiated agreements between Tla'amin and the city for transit services, fire protection and library services, and plans for more agreements. A renaming of the Powell River Regional District to the Quaythet Regional District. For Tla'amin, Quaythet means working together. A relationship and structure of regular meetings that will facilitate collaboration and partnership on future projects. Economic development structure. Tla'amin Management Services, LP, formerly called the Tla'amin Development Corporation, is the managing entity for economic development for the Tla'amin Nation. They currently oversee the Lund Hotel and Marina, Teacham Forest Products, Salish Seas Seafood, PRSC Land Developments, and Klahani and Southview leases. The Board of Directors consists of 3 council liaisons, 4 community elected seats, and 3 board appointments from business or other professionals. In 2013, the economic development arm of Tla'amin underwent restructuring, and the name changed from Tla'amin Development Corporation to Tla'amin Management Services, LP. in order to better separate band politics from business operations, minimize tax and liability exposure, and provide greater accountability, transparency, monitoring, and reporting. Comprehensive community planning and economic development. Although the 2007 CCP is now quite old, it does contain a section on economic development, outlining specific goals and actions. The 2015 CCP update dealt mainly with details of adding treaty lands to the CCP, and the 2017 strategic plan focuses on Tla'amin community infrastructure and does not address economic development. From the 2007 CCP, the community economic development goals were: 1. Reform economic development structure to clarify mandates and reporting relationships. 2. Retain experienced and committed economic development manager. 3. Develop Tla'amin Cultural Center with economic development opportunities. Showcase and market work of Tla'amin artists and dancers. Market Tla'amin small businesses offering guided hiking, canoe, fishing, and cultural tours. 4. Identify big and small business opportunities and promote viable and sustainable Tla'amin-owned businesses. 5. Establish sound business practices to limit liability to the nation. 6. Complete annual performance reviews for organization, businesses, managers, and staff. 7. Learn how to work together. 8. Celebrate our successes internally and externally. And 9. Coordinate fundraising efforts. In 2015 to 16, students from UBC's School of Community and Regional Planning visited with Tla'amin leaders and undertook a review of the 2007 CCP in preparation for Tla'amin Nation's return to self-governance on April 5, 2016. Out of the 9 community economic development goals outlined in the 2007 CCP, 4 project actions and 5 strategies, 1 goal had been completed, 4 were in progress, and 4 more were incomplete. The CCP reflection report of the students from UBC School of Community and Regional Planning is available from the link in the online classroom. According to the CCP reflection report, the sheer number of goals, 187, and individual actions, 988, detailed in the 2007 CCP was an impediment to completion. Out of the 187 goals in the 2007 CCP, 36 are considered to be complete, 105 are considered to be in progress, and 46 are considered to be incomplete. In addition, the CCP reflection report found that there was no person or area designated to monitor and evaluate the goals and actions laid out in the CCP. Each department had to track their own progress on a piecemeal basis, and department managers rarely met or communicated with each other outside of their individual departments. It was also found that departments were undertaking projects that had not been identified in the CCP, and there was no process in place for ensuring that the goals outlined in the CCP were reviewed for continued relevancy over time or for status updates. A number of recommendations were made in the CCP reflection report to help with communication between departments and monitoring of the CCP. The fact that there has been no comprehensive update to the CCP since 2007 was not addressed. A visit to the Tla'amin Management Services LP website today tells us about their current portfolio of projects and who they are, but there is no up-to-date economic development plan currently available. The 2011 plan is no longer relevant or available, and the 2019 plan is underway, according to Grace Adams, Development Manager for Tla'amin Management Services. Final notes about Tla'amin Community Economic Development. A structured process is in place for Tla'amin enterprises to apply for funding from the Economic Development Fund, provided as part of the Tla'amin Final Agreement Treaty Settlement. The link to this structured process is available in the online classroom. An economic development law is in place to outline policies and procedures for businesses operating under Tla'amin Management Services LP. Again, this link is available in the online classroom. And a separate agreement covers policy and procedures between Tla'amin Nation and the holding board for the Tla'amin group of businesses. The link to this agreement is in the online classroom as well. Thank you.